26 seconds to play. Clippers 118. The Blazers 117.
You got to be careful that you don't get baited into a foul right here. That's a very aggressive Clipper group. These guys are excited to be on the floor. Sometimes that aggression can get the worst of them.
And Lillard draws the foul. 2 free throws for Damian Lillard with his team down by 1. 18.6 on the clock. Damian Lillard comes up short on the first attempt. This one for the tie. Missed them both. Rebound knocked around. Nurkic got a hand on it. Shamet controls. It was after the Lillard miss. Morris and Beverly reacted.
Asking me about Patrick Beverly, who I sent him home before. Paul George just got sent home by me last year in the playoffs. So they know that the reason they reacting like that is because of what they expect from me, which is a sign of respect.
I think Dame had a valid point. You know, he said nothing but facts. And on the flip side, Patrick Beverly and Paul George, they're favorites to win this year.
Lillard is everything you want in a franchise player.
Now let me say this, okay? Paul George is a star, and Patrick Beverly is one of my favorite players and favorite people in the world. Don't mess with Dame. Don't mess with Dame Dollar. He's not the one. He's not the one.
Let's hand off to Dame. Dame will go in the paint one more time, and Damian Lillard making it look easy. Dame wants another 3. It's okay to be greedy. Dame able to force the foul, the buckets. Damian Lillard, give me 51.
A man that averaged 37.6 points per game during the regular season for the bubble. 50% shooting from the field, 44% shooting from three-point range.
He has raised his already formidable game to MVP levels right now. He is putting on a show in winning efforts. Lillard is special, and he's showing it.
That's a bomb! Oh my gosh! Ridiculous! A huge win for the Bubble Blazers.
And so for me, it was a no-brainer. It was Dame time. The Dame Dollar, the great Dame, whatever adjective you want to, whatever you want to use to describe him, Skip. He's it now.
LeVert for the lead. No! It's over, and Portland survives.
Damian Lillard is playing like an MVP.
Like that! Like that! Damian Lillard!
It was Mamba-esque what we saw from Damian Lillard over these 3 games just to keep the Blazers season alive, Chris.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at this shot by Lillard!
That was from the NBA logo!
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Do you think that OKC should be sellers as we approach the trade season and just keep going with this rebuild full steam, or that maybe let it ride a little bit?
I'm buying.
Okay.
I'm buying for the simple fact I had this team making the playoffs before the season started.
Are they, better than the team that Damian Lillard waved goodbye to in the first round of the playoffs last year? So it's a better team than last year.
On paper, no, right? Because you got Russ and Paul George were on that team. Paul George was playing extremely well last year. So on paper, no, but they don't play the games on paper, Rachel. They play them on hardwood.
What type of playoff threat are the Thunder now?
Not only are they live, this is not just a situation where they could, as a 5 seed, upset a 4. They could really advance here.
I want to get to the Chris Paul side of it as well. After leading OKC to a successful season that frankly surprised a lot of people's expectations, I know not you, Perk, but a lot of people, CP3 is suddenly facing the team that traded him last offseason. So Zach, what do you expect to see from Chris Paul in this series? We know how determined he is and how motivated.
Well, first of all, you hit on the irony. Houston gave up a lot to swap Chris Paul for Russell Westbrook. And part of the reason they did it because Russell Westbrook is supposedly more durable than Chris Paul and has been. And look what's happening now. It shows you how unpredictable this is.
Let's not not forget, I mean, no one does, who was in that trade. You know, you thought you were trading up. I certainly did at this point in Chris Paul's career. And yet, if one guy is leading his team and making clutch play after clutch play, and the guy who he was traded for is missing the shot and throwing the ball away at a time where you can win the game, that means the guy you were traded for elevated. And not only did you fail to elevate, you deflated. Like, that's what happened.
Man, it's a tough one. It's tough. Like, we fought hard all year. Obviously, a lot of people doubted us, but we didn't doubt ourselves. We didn't give a damn about anybody's predictions going into any series. In any game, we expected to win, right? And that's the way we played all season long. Every game, we expected to win. And so, yeah, that's a tough one.
I think, you know, what he did with that OKC team was something to marvel at in itself. No one had OKC doing anything this year. And I really think that it's clear that he galvanized that young team to play at a high level. What I do think he is all-time competitor. He is one of the all-time great competitors.
The answer is yes. There are things LeBron James can do to become the GOAT, but he's not the GOAT yet.
Curry will finish with 38 points. Kyrie Irving will dribble it out, and the Golden State Warriors, with a huge win on the road, take a commanding 3-1 lead in these NBA Finals.
Nobody's beating the Warriors.
Do they look in any way vulnerable to you? Can someone beat them in a best out of 7?
No, I don't think so.
LeBron James and the Cavs now in a big hole as they head back to Oakland.
LeBron James didn't show up. I don't give a damn about his numbers. 25, 13, and 9 means nothing to me. I will always remember this game as the game where I was looking for LeBron James and he could not be found.
I cannot tell you how disappointed I was in King James. My mind was boggled by what I didn't see from LeBron right away.
What's your mindset heading into the next game?
Well, my mindset is get one. You know, we got to go out there and play obviously better than we played tonight.
He is not as impactful as he used to be.
Tried to draw the foul, got him up.
You're not going to get a 45-point night from him. Those days are over. He's a human being.
41 in back-to-back finals games. Major key. They didn't want to see a game 6. Well, now you have it. Mama, there goes those men.
He's not going to slam dunk as much or with the volume he did.
Throws it inside again to Thompson. Tristan Thompson, 15 points, 15 rebounds. Throws it ahead to Smith. Smith, alley-oop to James. Wow.
He is no longer an A-plus scorer and an A-plus defender and an A-plus this, that, and everything. He is really A- to B-plus at everything. And so he's no longer Superman. He's now Batman.
Oh, what a defensive play from LeBron James.
Finishing touches on a magnificent performance.
In the end, we're seeing the LeBron that is 31, is not going to chase you down and block from behind.
Oh, blocked by James! LeBron James with the rejection.
LeBron is right there. He's probably ahead of Jordan.
LeBron is, I think, the greatest player to ever play.
It's over.
LeBron James is the greatest player ever.
That's what I say.
Greater than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I think so.
All I know is they're the two best players that I've ever witnessed.
Cleveland! This is for you! 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years. Everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Will the Thunder regret this trade?
In the end, Skip,
What it comes down to is whether it's Kevin Martin, whether it's Jeremy Lamb who delivered the national title to UConn, the boy can play. You've got an upside with these two dudes, which offsets the loss of Harden. If they were healthy, James Harden is not better than them. Do you know why? Because they play defense. And James Harden does not play defense.
It's hard to have a lot of credibility if you don't play good defense. It's hard to say, let's get stopped when people are looking at you saying, please stay in front of somebody.
No disrespect to James Harden, because you can ball, bro. He ain't Kevin Durant. Let's stop that. Kevin Durant, $85 million. I'm sorry. I don't think James Harden belongs in the same ballpark as James Harden. Kevin Durant belongs in the same ballpark as James Harden. I mean, I think that's blasphemous. Clearly he can play. Clearly he can ball. But in the same breath as Kevin Durant, you better watch your mouth. It ain't happening.
And hammers down two. Oh, my! Harden just crossed over Wes Johnson, and that might be the single greatest crossover in the history of the NBA. Oh, what a move by Harden! And he drops the sledgehammer. With the drive. Brooke is on the bench right now. Harden in there with a dance! That move is illegal in most every state except in Texas. Woo! Wow! 3, down to 2. Harden puts it up. He got it! The beard! Cold-blooded 3 to win the game.
Or he could drive on you.
MVP move. And the crowd in Toyota Center. Harden got the step and step. Oh, what a move. And he went right at JaVale. 1 point Golden State lead. Harden against the backpedaling Iguodala. He got it. He got it. Timeout. Harden, great dish underneath Capella. Drops it in plus a foul.
Harden back out there. Oh, what a pass in the left.
Early breathing. Probably see Levert more with the second unit. Oh, Harden. Oh, that's silly.
And the Kia NBA Most Valuable Player goes to James Harden, the Houston Rockets.
But James Harden is easily the most unstoppable offensive player in the NBA. He cannot be guarded. But I'm talking about strictly in terms of one-on-one unstoppable offensive player, James Harden cannot be guarded. I'd take James Harden any day of the week. I wouldn't even think about it.
James Harden unguardable.
James Harden is the greatest scorer in the game today. This brother is something special. He's that sensational.
Jennings thought he could get away with it. And you'll see the tooth come flying out of his mouth. Over he goes after him. Over he goes right out of winning. Loses the basketball. Porter to Beal. Layup is good and a foul. It's a wall. Working against Bradley for 3. John Wall. Hold on. What a shot.
Wall to the basket again. Every time, Scott. John Wall's down. I did not see what
John Wall, already out for the rest of this season because of his injured heel, now needs surgery for a ruptured Achilles after slipping in his home, according to the team.
Why hasn't Beal been able to recruit another superstar?
Because the Wizards are not a great organization. Plain and simple. The Wizards are not an attractive organization right now. Their team stinks. They're a below average team. And the face of their franchise is perpetually hurt and even when healthy, refuses to develop a consistent jump shot in John Wall. They're the second worst team next to Cleveland. 26th in offensive efficiency. 28th in defensive efficiency. They're getting outscored by 10.3 points per game, third worst in the NBA. They can't shoot, shooting just 31.3% from three-point range, which is fourth worst in the NBA. They don't rebound, they rank dead last. They have no leadership, they have no chemistry, they don't even look like they want to play together. Don't get me started with hanging out together, because damn sure if I've seen it. You do find yourself in key moments like Game 7 in the conference semifinals against the Boston Celtics a couple of years ago, where it was Bradley Beal that showed up and dropped about 38 or 39.
Bradley Beal, the all-star guard in Washington, has agreed to a 2-year, $72 million max contract extension.
My condolences. I'm incredibly sad for him. He deserves every penny. He's a star. He's underappreciated. He's one of the best guys you'll ever meet in the league. But he is literally all the nation's capital has when it comes to basketball.
I always joke, though, I shoot a lot of threes, I better make a lot of them. So.
No one had more attention on him this past college basketball season.
Trae
Young, the Oklahoma star.
Because he led the nation in scoring, but he also led the nation in assists.
Trae Young is a special talent.
He's unbelievable. Just the confidence that he plays with and has a creativity to his game that's just so fluid to watch. The comparisons are what they are, and that kind of magnetism is pretty special.
Look, his range is ridiculous. His vision is terrific.
He has such a quick release because he has good footwork.
The brother's got range. This is what he does, and he's got some handle. He can pass the ball as well.
Is Trae the new Steph?
When people look at your shooting range, the handle, the size, they bring up Steph comparisons.
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, it means a lot. Coming from someone who I looked up to. I mean, growing up, watched a lot of film over his game. I love his game.
What impact did Steph Curry have on your getting rid of a shot? Feels like he's changed basketball.
I think Steph changed the game in that way, so I came out at the right time.
He's done it again! He'll launch from the logo. Connects! Trae Young banks it in! A three-pointer for Trae Young! Oh, goes to his bag of tricks! You are a cheat code!
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
In 5 games, the Los Angeles Lakers will take down the Denver Nuggets, and the Lakers are headed back to the NBA Finals.
Change in the starting lineup for the 3rd straight game. Dwight Howard, who started games 4 and 5 of the Western Conference Finals.
Then they turn it over. James with the steal, throws it up. Davis back up, and this time able to finish. Danny Green tries again. Danny Green hits another three-pointer. 11 threes already.
At the end of the day, we just hope we make him and his family proud. And that's all it's about. And anybody that's ever stepped foot and put on the Lakers jersey, we hope we make them proud as well. From Kobe all the way down to everybody that's ever played in Los Angeles or been a part of the Los Angeles Lakers organization. That's what we're trying to do. I mean, it's a tradition here, and it's our responsibility, win, lose, or draw, to hold that with the utmost responsibility and utmost respect.
AD and another basket. He's 7 for 7 in the 3rd quarter, 15 of his 30 coming here in the 3rd. Back out Robinson, stolen by James. James drives, goes inside and throws it down. Drives again, back to Davis. Davis for 3. Bang! Anthony Davis from downtown. And the Lakers take a 9-point lead. Timeout Miami. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. The LA Lakers, the 2010 NBA champions.
Dominant defensively. Absolutely dominant.
The lead is 20 and a chance for a 3-point play. LA looking to push every opportunity. Beautiful pass. Caruso banks it in.
And that's it. It's over. This historic 2020 NBA championship belongs to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers conquer the bubble, and banner number 17 will soon hang in the rafters.
Won 5 championships. That's great. Another team won a championship this year. The team's going to win a championship next year. Those things come and they go. But what stays is, how do you use your passion and use that to to inspire somebody else to create their passion.